Hey, you guys, Stuart Piddle on the most targeted citizen. Here it is on, I guess this is an NBC channel. The Havana Syndrome is what they're calling directed energy weapons. You'll hear her say, the faux vice president, the ho vice president, Kamala Harris, the Indian woman who's our vice president, that one, the Indian woman who says she's black, remember her, who is prejudiced against white folks, although she's married to a white man. She had to cancel her trip yesterday to Taiwan because of the Havana syndrome, because they don't know what kind of sophisticated weapon this is. Although American people like me have been attacked by this weapon, these microwave weapons, for the last 20 years. This is technology from the 50s. But I'm just a crazy guy trying to tell you about it.
So Ken, tell us, what's on your radar?
Well, I have a little bit of a true life mystery for you. In late 2016, a CIA operative based in Cuba began complaining about the sudden onset of a bizarre illness. The agent visited the medical office in the U.S. Embassy in Havana complaining of strange vibrations, high-pitched sounds, crushing headaches, and dizziness. A month later, 2 more CIA operatives visited the clinic complaining of the same strange symptoms. There was really no explanation, no understanding of what could have caused these spies to suddenly fall ill. Was it a chemical they had all been exposed to? Was it environmental, something in the air? No one knew. Things became alarming when a dozen more people, all U.S. diplomats, came down with the same mysterious illness. They all complained of the same thing: high-pitched ringing sounds in their ears, paired with debilitating headaches, vertigo, and feelings of strange vibrations.
The same vibrations, the same screeching in my head. At this very moment in my head. That is not tinnitus. It is not tinnitus.
The symptoms would last from 20 seconds to 30 minutes and always happened while the diplomat was at home or in hotel rooms. And the oddest part about it was others nearby, be they family members or guests staying in nearby rooms, heard and felt nothing. Nearly a dozen Canadian diplomats began coming down with the same strange symptoms. In one case, a Canadian diplomat and his wife felt a wave of pressure flow over them in the middle of the night, and their children awoke with nosebleeds. Suspicions began to mount that these symptoms were not environmental or chemical. American diplomats began to think they were under attack. The Canadians...
My own son is woken up in the middle of the night with nosebleeds from the same exact weapons.
Moved their diplomats away from their U.S. counterparts, hoping to distance themselves from whatever was coming after the Americans. By the end of 2018, 24 U.S. diplomats, CIA agents, and members of their families, along with the dozen Canadians, experienced the high-pitched sound, pressure, and headaches. Worst yet, when doctors examined these patients, they found brain damage. The injuries sustained by many of those involved looked just like concussions, but without the head trauma. Trump pointed the finger at the Cuban government and called on everyone at the U.S. Embassy to abandon their post. The Cubans denied any involvement, and many agreed, speculating the Cubans couldn't possibly have a weapon this sophisticated.
It's not sophisticated.
But no one even knew what the weapon was. Some believed it was a sonic attack of some sort, others...
Our government got these weapons from the Nazis. Operation Paperclip brought the Nazi scientists to America, and they created these weapons way back in the late 40s and early 50s. They're directed energy weapons / microwave frequency weapons. Frequencies. I don't know. What's going on in the world right now? They're installing what? 5G everywhere? Oh, no. Frequencies that can cause anxiety, depression, paranoia. Really? Frequency weapons? Sophisticated? We don't know what it could be. I've been telling you what it is for years.
Thought it was radio frequency microwaves. Politicians held congressional hearings. Experts were called in for advice. But there were no answers. No one knew. People thought maybe it was a virus, or some even started to think that diplomats had just gone crazy, that they were suffering from some sort of mass collective hysteria. As time went on, less attention was paid to the strange sounds heard throughout 2017 by diplomats in Cuba. It was a one-off anomaly. But then it wasn't. In spring of 2018, U.S. diplomats in China began reporting the same strange symptoms, some claiming to have been experiencing them since late 2017. And this set off alarm bells in Washington, and by summer, several China-based diplomats had been evacuated. The State Department issued a health warning, and a task force was sent to investigate. Since then, over 150 cases in total have been reported in areas all around the world affecting CIA personnel, U.S. military diplomats, and their families. Reports have been filed in Russia, Poland, Taiwan, Australia, Colombia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Berlin, and interestingly, the most cases reported outside of Havana, Cuba, have been reported in Vienna, Austria, with over 20 known attacks. And the attacks haven't been limited to foreign soil. Twice, once in 2019 and once again in 2020, White House officials have reported the same symptoms, once against a White House official in a Virginia suburb while walking her dog, and again on the Ellipse, a lawn adjacent to the White House. Now, this story is all sorts of things: mysterious, bizarre, frightening, intriguing. But why am I bringing this up today? Because yesterday, as Vice President Kamala Harris was set to make her way from Singapore to Vietnam, there was another attack. This time against 2 U.S. diplomats in Hanoi, the very place Harris was scheduled to arrive. And though Kamala Harris's trip was delayed, she did end up continuing on with her journey, and reports are the 2 affected diplomats were attacked in their homes and are being evacuated. But this incident shows us how vulnerable we are. We still have no idea who is behind these attacks, nor what weapon is being used, or at least us lay people have no idea.
I do.
And of course, a lot of theories surround the Russians. GQ's Julia Eihoff reported CIA investigators were using mobile phone tracking to deduce who was nearby during various attacks. And in several of the attacks, including in Poland, Georgia, Australia, and Taiwan, individuals suspected of being FSB agents were within range of the affected CIA operative.
Even about